Coming up on Valley News Live at 6, frustrated in Fargo after a family finds a vandal at work. Plus, with fireworks on sale, why there's growing concern over related problems this July 4th. And why you need to make sure that the money you're putting away for retirement is where you put it. Valley News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 6.
Good evening, everyone. The search continues right now for the person who smashed a Fargo family's Corvette. Let's start by showing you security footage. You can just barely see it. It happened just before 4 Sunday morning in the 700 block of 17th Street South. The person kicked in the car's back window and smashed the rearview mirrors. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley spoke with the family today, who say the neighborhood isn't as safe as it once was.
Unfortunately, this is turning into typical behavior within our neighborhood.
It happened just feet from where Sharon Aiken's brother and his family sleep.
You can tell that the guy is really tall because he's kicking down at the car.
And while what happened is disappointing, Aiken says she and her family aren't surprised, as the neighborhood has gained a large amount of foot traffic over the last few years, and with it has been a lot of trouble.
Both of my neighbors have had vehicle windows broken out, things stolen, used needles, alcohol containers and bottles.
Both Aiken and other neighbors say the problems seem to stem from the apartment complexes near the area, but say so far it hasn't pushed them over the edge to want to move.
You know, we all have cameras up and security systems, the whole 9 yards. We keep our cars locked, we keep our garages locked, our houses locked, but this is just kind of what we deal with.
Aiken says her brother has already installed more cameras, and the family is hoping others in the area will look back at any footage they have from late Saturday night into early Sunday morning to better identify the man responsible.
Anything suspicious, anybody running through the neighborhood, walking around in their yard, anything like that, all we can tell is that he's tall.
Urging those in the area to always be on alert and to keep your eyes out for suspicious activity. In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
And if you have any information on this case, call Fargo Police. The number is on your screen, 701-241-1407. You can also text a tip with keyword Fargo PD to 847-411. There's new information tonight regarding shots fired in downtown Fargo last Thursday. Witnesses say that the man charged, Abshir Hussein, got into an argument with a man around 2 in the morning at the Fort Knox bar. Hussein left before officers arrived. Moments later, there were reports that shots had been fired from the 300 block of Roberts Street North. A woman said she was walking when a man drove up next to her and started talking. When she told him to get lost, the man pulled out a gun and started shooting in the air. Hussein was later identified through surveillance video, and someone spotted his vehicle. He was charged with aggravated reckless endangerment and terrorizing. Police are now searching for a man who may be linked to a shooting in Grand Forks. Authorities are looking for 24-year-old Christopher Lane. We're told they plan to charge him with attempted murder, motor vehicle theft, and reckless endangerment. The shooting happened Saturday at the Quality Inn. If you have any information on where Lane may be, call police. We're off to a slightly cooler start for the work week, but with a holiday looming next weekend, warmer temps are expected. Let's begin by tossing it over to Hutch Johnson, who has details on what we can expect tonight. Hutch?
Mike, thanks so much, and good evening, everyone. As we start out this work week with, as Mike said, cooler conditions, passing clouds, and a few of these clouds are yielding some more rain showers across the area. A little bit of lightning and thunder, but I am not anticipating anything severe. Stretching from Lake of the Woods, Roseau County, through the Grand Forks area, and down into southeast North Dakota. We have a few rumbles of thunder, very slow moving and kind of hitting the same area here from the Sargent Ransom County area to Dickey and Lemoore County. Also a few showers diminishing in intensity here as they approach the FM area just off to the west. So North Fargo, West Fargo, a chance for a remnant sprinkle from that system as it decays. Some showers and thunderstorms in and around Grand Forks. Mayville area seeing some as well, as these are all passing north to south at only about 10 miles per hour. Look at this, Thompson, Reynolds, you're seeing some showers in the eastern reaches of Grand Forks and south, seeing those showers passing over the Highway 2 corridor. 75 to 80 for most locations, with the warmest weather up north. Some are cooler down south where the showers have been persistent, but by and large we'll be in the 70s this evening. Light winds, and beside the passing showers, those should end at about sunset. I'll have details on what you can expect as we're heating things up for the 4th of July here in a minute.
All right, thanks, Hutch. This year's drought is raising concern among firefighters as we near the 4th. Fargo fire officials are warning you to hose down your yards, decks, and anything in close proximity if you plan to set off fireworks. And although several types of fireworks are against Minnesota state law, Clay County Sheriff says that people need to be aware that the ongoing drought adds more danger to the holiday festivities.
What needs to happen is everybody needs to be mindful of our current drought and to be very cautious when you're out there lighting fireworks, and again, follow the state law as it pertains to the fireworks. And
Fargo's fire marshal says the best and safest way to see fireworks is to attend a professional fireworks show. We now know what caused a fire at an apartment complex earlier this month. That blaze broke out on June 14th at 3325 17th Avenue South in Fargo. 2 decks were engulfed in flames. Investigators now say the cause was improperly discarded smoking materials. Fire damage wound up to be about $365,000. A Fargo woman has pleaded guilty to stabbing her boyfriend in the groin last spring. 33-year-old Taryn Stately was originally charged with 1 count of murder, but her plea has been reduced to a charge of felony manslaughter. On May 30th of a year ago, authorities went to the 1600 block of 33rd Avenue South and found 27-year-old Keenan Poitra bleeding heavily in an apartment hallway. Stately faces up to 10 years in prison and will be sentenced on October 11th. The trial starts tomorrow for a man accused of killing Grand Forks police officer Cody Holte. Solomon Pendleton is charged with 2 murders, his own mother and Holte, who were killed during a shootout with officers attempting to serve an eviction notice. The trial is expected to last until mid-July. If convicted, Pendleton could go to prison for life. Minnesota's governor is directing state law enforcement agencies to develop policies to more quickly release body camera footage from deadly police encounters to families. Other executive actions include $15 million in community violence prevention grants and increasing transparency and accountability of the Peace Officer Standards and Training Board. The governor's announcements come as state lawmakers reached a deal to avoid a partial government shutdown. Activists in Minneapolis who have been pushing for police accountability say that as written, the word doesn't go far enough as far as law being talked about. Groups have been pushing for more money for body cameras, another layer for approval for no-knock warrants, and changes to rules around traffic stops. Other priorities not included were criminal justice reform and a civilian overnight committee for accountability.
Warren Limmer and Gazelka should be happy because they got what they wanted. They are protecting police officers, not holding police officers accountable. And for the Democrats, shame on you for saying you stand with the community.
There is no word yet on who will vote in favor of the legislation as proposed. The Minnesota State Senate has passed a housing bill focusing on ending Governor Tim Walz's eviction moratorium and improving housing affordability. The $115 million housing budget bill passed 66-0. It now heads to the governor's desk for his signature. Finding a way for the state to move on from the eviction moratorium was one of the priorities for the Minnesota legislature. The phase-out process of the moratorium will be completed in stages and will start the day the bill is signed into law and will end around 105 days. Moorhead Public Service is warning customers of a phone scam. Suspicious phone calls are being reported and automated messages are threatening them if they don't pay up. MPS uses automated messages for its collection process and contacts customers with past due balances over the phone. However, and this is a big point, they will not demand direct payment over the phone and will never use threatening tactics to obtain payment. If you receive a suspicious call from someone claiming to be from Fargo Public Services, hang up and call them at the number on your screen.
It's very disheartening because you want the city to encourage local businesses and support local businesses, and now they're nickeling and diming us.
That's one of several local business owners in Langdon, North Dakota, who are speaking out against a proposed ordinance that could impact how they make a living. The ordinance would change the way utility bills are shared between tenants running businesses inside the same building. Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor is in Langdon and will have the latest on this story tonight on Valley News Live at 9 and 10. You work hard and you put away what you can for retirement. Later on Valley News Live at 6, why you should see how much you have every now and then.
Coming up next, well, we're continuing to have a very dry summer, but over the last week, many areas in yellow and orange picking up over an inch of rain, including the Detroit Lakes area. Not all of us have gotten beneficial rain, but in Fargo for the month, well, we're not far from an average June's rainfall. All details on a hot streak ahead.